Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to share with you my folio. This is an altered folio that I made using the Prima Fruit Paradise Collection. And my folio here, I altered it to have 6 pockets inside to hold a nice set of cards that I made using the same collection to just kind of have on hand and set off on my desk for when I need to send out a note or a card or a hello or whatever to one of my friends. So I'm just going to kind of walk through how I put it together. This isn't really a tutorial because it's just a basic folio, which I have quite a few of these tutorials on my channel. If you just kind of flip back, I might even link a few in the description if you need them. But I do have the measurements after I show you all this. So just stay tuned for the measurements if you would like to make this same one, including the pocket measurements. So here I just took a piece of chipboard that's in a fancy shape, and you can pick these up pretty much any one of the arts and crafts stores has these. And I altered it using perfect pearls and some of my distress inks. I also have this little doorknob, which is from my stash. It's a Graphics 45 doorknob. Made my own flowers, which I will also link that video. Maybe I'll link them at the end on how to create the flowers. And I forgot to put the little centers in my flowers, so I'm going to do that while I'm chatting. I also made all my own greenery, all that. The base of it is a piece of burlap and then a piece of corrugated 12 by 12 sheet that I also picked up at a local craft store. I'm holding it together with the seam binding that came in my design team kit, which I love this seam binding. I spritzed it with some water and crinkled it all up, and then I wrapped the entire book in it before I put my paper over it, and I made sure it was flat. It's another little clip from my stash, and it is holding one of the chipboard pieces, and then I cut out the word cherish multiple times, stacked them on top of each other, and then I also added a key. And that is pretty much the most that I did on the outside. I didn't do a lot of decorating on the inside, but when you open up the folio, we've got all these little pockets here. And I created 6. You could create a lot more. This is plenty thick enough once I give you the measurements. They're 1-inch spines, so you've got plenty of room in there. I also decorated the front of each one of the pockets with elements from the fruit collection. And each one of my cards, I will leave on the blog the card sketch that I used for this, because what I was looking for was a way to use up my scraps, because I've got a lot of scraps from all the projects that I've been doing, but I don't want to throw them away, and they're all different sizes. So this is a great sketch. If you have like a bunch of little pieces or different size pieces left over from like your scraps, and you don't want to throw them away, card sketches are a great way to use up those scraps. So I will leave the actual sketch on my blog if you want to check that out. And I just have a basic stamp set that has like the happy birthday, hello friend, big ol' hugs for you, that kind of stuff. And I just use those as my focal point for each one of my cards, just so that I have like a generic set of cards sitting on my desk ready to go. Because I try to keep a book with all the birthdays, friends and family birthdays and special occasions, and I look at it at the beginning of every month, and by the time I remember, oh no, it's so and so's birthday, I've, totally just like got a day or two to throw something together. So it's nice to have some on hand and ready to go. So here's another just kind of quick look, and see it's not super thick, holds together easily with the seam binding. On the inside, see how it's not real thick? I did use some foam dimensionals to pop up the pieces on the inside, and then some little tiny flowers from my stash that weren't super thick. Those ones I did not make. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. Oh, there's also, if you look on that spine there, if you really wanted to, you could also add one of those little fabric pencil holders or pen holders, and then put a nice little fancy pen in there for yourself as well. There's plenty of room in there for you to do a whole bunch of stuff. And this paper is really, really sweet, and it's so good for a lot of different themes. So it doesn't have to all be fruit. Here's a nice little close-up of those pictures of those cards that I did. And I'm going to slow this video way down so that you can write down the measurements. So each one of your big panels is 8.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide, and you have a 1-inch spine. And the reason why I did that is so that when you put your pockets in there, I measured out the pockets to fit A2 size greeting cards in there. So if you want to stash greeting cards in there, the pockets and the sizes are all fit for A2 size cards. So here are the pockets, and this is just a 1-piece pocket with 2 pockets in it. So the way that I did it, you can totally change this up any way you want, but here's your dimensions right here. These 9 inches by 6 inches, score a 1/2 inch on either side, and then turn it, score it at 3. And then your front pocket goes up with your tabs in, and then big tabs in the back. And the way that I did mine, because I'm going to put A2 size cards in it, I just put a little stopper back there so that my cards don't slide down to where I can't grab them. But if you wanted to make this like a stationery set, you could put like some custom stationery back there. Don't put the stopper, have a, full piece, and then put some nice custom envelopes in that front pocket, put your little pen in there, and that would be like an awesome set to give as a gift or to keep on your desk as like a little stationery set. But yeah, that's just a couple of ideas on things that you can do with these folios. They're super easy, quick things, and a nice way to use up scraps. So for decorating this, all I did was take my pattern papers from the Prima Fruit Paradise Collection, and then I just cut them down, and I didn't go all the way down inside the pockets with them. It's just basically what you see is where it's covered, because I didn't want to waste any of my paper by covering stuff that you're never going to see anyway. So that's all I did with that. And then these little, I want to call them cut aparts, because one of the pages in here has all these gorgeous little cut aparts with the pears and the cherries and all that. So I grabbed some of my cut aparts that I had already cut out for my other projects, along with the chipboard pieces. I put a little bit of burlap behind it, and then a little flower from my stash, and just used some foam adhesive to decorate that. And then each one of these pockets holds an A2 size card. There are also plenty of room back there for you to stuff envelopes as well. So you can have matching envelopes to go with all of your cards if that is what you're going to use it for. Or like I said, you can use stationery. And later on, I will have some tutorials that will go over some other really awesome things that you can do with folios, especially at Christmas time with cocoa sets and all kinds of stuff. So we can do that later. But this is just a basic folio with some pockets for like a desk set. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I've got a lot more projects coming up, and I do apologize for it taking so long to get this one finished. I hurt my back, and I don't know. Long story short, it took me a few days before I could actually find a position where I could do anything. So I really do appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for more, and I will see you again real soon. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.